Hello everybody, it is MTG Wizard back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a deck tech of this deck called Blue Red Morph. It's as simple as that. Not a complicated name, nothing's really big. And before we start today, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. Let's get into it. First, we're starting off with Scornfully Goated. It is a 8 mana 1/1 with a Morph ability that costs 1 mana. You may play this face down as a 2/2 creature for 3 mana. Turn it face up anytime for its Morph cost. In a little bit, I will tell you why this is such a good card in this deck. And we have 3 copies of that. Next, we have Rush of Knowledge. This is why we have the Scornfully Goated in this deck. Because Rush of Knowledge is a 5 mana sorcery, and it says, draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among creatures you control. Permanents you control. So this is really good because if we get Scornfully Goated on the battlefield and then we play Rush of Knowledge, then we can draw 8 cards. And this will just allow us to draw cards that will allow us to draw even more cards. Next, we have Avin Fateshaper. It is a 7 mana 4/5 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of my library, then put them back in any order. This is just good to play before we play Rush of Knowledge because it allows us to look at the cards before we draw them and make sure that they're just it's what we want. And then as a mana ability for 5, look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. Next, we have Dispersal Shield. Is a 2 mana instant. Counter target spell if its converted mana cost is less than or equal to the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control. This is just really good because if we have a Scornfully Goated on the battlefield, we can pretty much counter anything. Next, we have Mistform Warchief. Is a 3 mana 1/3, and creature spells you play that share a creature type with Mistform Warchief cost 1 less to play. And then you can tap Mistform Warchief, and its type becomes the creature type of your choice until end of turn. This is just really good because it can make all our high mana cost creatures cost 1 less and allows us to put them on the battlefield quicker. We have 2 copies of that. Next, we have Shoreline Ranger. Is a 6 mana 3/4 with island cycling and flying. Tap 2, discard this card from your hand, search your library for an island card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. This is just good in case we're low on mana and we just need that extra mana to play something. We have 2 copies of that. Next, we have Thundercloud Elemental. Is a 7 mana 3/4 and it has flying with 2 mana abilities. The first one is tap 4, tap all creatures with toughness 2 or less, and the second is all other creatures lose flying until end of turn. This is just good for the tapping part, and it is also good for the Rush of Knowledge, so we can draw cards. We only have 1 copy of that. Next, Wanderguard Sentry. 5 mana for 3/3. When Wanderguard Sentry comes into play, look at target opponent's hand. This is just good to be ready for anything that our opponent can play. And for Rush of Knowledge for the card draw. Next, Goblin Mechanist is a 5 mana 05 with a mana ability. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. Goblin Mechanist gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any order. This could just be really good because we have a lot of high cost cards in our deck, and it can just makes Goblin Mechanist grow really, really big. Next, got 2 copies of that. Next, we have Slice and Dice. It is a 6 mana sorcery. Slice and Dice deals 4 damage to target creature, and it has cycling for 3 mana. Discard this card from your hand, draw a card. And when you cycle Slice and Dice, you may have it deal 1 damage to that creature. This is just good either way, because if your opponent has low costing creatures, or sorry, low power and toughness creatures, they can just destroy them. When you cycle this card, we have 1 copy of that. Next, we have Bloodstoke Howler, is a 6 mana 3/4 with a morph cost of 7. When Bloodstoke Howler is turned face up, beasts you control get +3/+O until end of turn. Next, we have 1 copy of that. Next, we have Frenetic Raptor. It is a 6 mana 6/6 beast. Beasts can't block. This is a good attacker, and it can go well with our Bloodstoke Howler because then it gets +3/+O until end of turn when Bloodstoke Howler is turned face up. 1 copy of that. Macetail Hystrodon. 7 mana 4/4. First strike, haste, and cycling for 3. This is just good because it's a high mana cost creature, and we can just attack with it instantly. Next, we have 1 of that. Torrent of Fire is a 5 mana sorcery. Torrent of Fire deals damage equal to the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control to target creature or player. This just goes really well because we have a lot of high mana cost creatures, and we can just deal a lot of damage. We have 3 copies of that. Pyrostag Pillar. 2 mana for a enchantment. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, it deals 2 damage to that player. This is just good because most of our cards are above 2 mana, or sorry, 3 mana. And our opponents will be playing hopefully low cost spells. We have 2 copies of that. Next, we have Carbonize. 3 mana for an instant. Carbonize deals 3 damage to target creature or player. That creature can't be regenerated this turn. If the creature we put into a graveyard this turn, remove it from the game instead. This is just good to get rid of cards or creatures on your opponent's side of the battlefield, and it's just low costing, so we can just do it pretty much whenever we want. 2 copies of that. Chartooth Cougar is a 6 mana 4/4. Chartooth Cougar gets +1/+O until end of turn if you pay 1. And it has mountain cycling. So we have 3 copies of that. Next, Dragon Breath. 2 mana for an enchant creature. Enchanted creature is haste. And then +1 enchanted creature gets +1/+O until end of turn. When creature with converted mana cost 6 or more comes into play, you may return Dragon Breath from your graveyard to play enchant from your graveyard to play enchanting that creature. Okay, I did not read that right. Sorry, guys. This is just good because most of our creatures are 6 or above with their mana cost. 2 of those. Erratic Explosion, 3 mana for a sorcery. Choose target creature or player. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. Erratic Explosion deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to that creature or player. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any order. Again, this is just because we have a lot of high cost creatures in our deck. 2 of those. Skittish Vallisk, a 7 mana 5/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, turn Skittish Vallisk face down with a morph cost of 6. This is kind of a luck thing. If you don't win that flip, you'll have to turn it face down, and then you can't use anything on it. So this is just in here, hopefully, so we can win the flip each time. Next, Wizard Replica, 3 mana for an artifact creature wizard. Flying, sacrifice Wizard Replica, counter target spell unless controller plays 2 mana. It's controller, sorry. Next, it has flying. So this is just good in case we don't have any big creatures, or we don't have our dispersal shield on the battlefield. It's just kind of like a backup plan. Alright, that's it for the main deck. Next, we have the mountain. For islands, we have 12 islands, and then for the mountains, we have 12 mountains, so it's even. Alright, that is it for the video today. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video, everyone. Alright, see ya.